What's the news, Joe?
What ho, what ho? No, just
I haven't even looked at. I haven't even
no, all
looked
good.
at prices today.
That's all good. Stock
We had a
markets
little
are
surge
all
last
up.
night, right?
Yeah, all the cryptos up. I mean, for the most part. I think I saw BTC up about 6% earlier today.
31,537 at the moment.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff about Bitcoin flashes buy signal. This is 6 hours old, but for the first time since January. So
Nice.
up 1,650 points since Monday's open. This is a little dated because it's 6 hours old, but you're starting to see people talking about Bitcoin snaps, long losing streaks. I think it finally closed out with a green candle weekly.
Nice.
I don't think it did 9 straight. I think I heard it closed green, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'm doing other shit. So yesterday I could not even take a look. So I didn't even realize we had that. And that's why we're up today. Everybody's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think people are starting to. Now, I don't know. Again, I'm just talking. I think there's getting to be a sentiment that we're somewhere near a bottom.
Right.
I still think that there's the capitulation crash, the flash crash. That's a fast one. And then it runs back up because I think that's the only way to bleed out the dead weight, so to speak.
Right.
But it's very short. These are very, very short-lived. I mean, these are within 15 minutes or something. So it's not like people, you just got to watch your borrowing positions, of course, so you don't get liquidated. But yeah. I still feel like there's something like that coming. I don't know. We got a Fed meeting, I think, next week, right?
Yep.
That's next week. So, I think everybody's expecting a 50 basis points hike. I don't think there's any uncertainty about being higher than that there. I think the interesting thing is going to be the tapering of the balance sheet again.
Right.
That's kind of quieting down. People aren't talking about it as much. And, and I think that's just because that's the scary one.
Right. Absolutely.
Really sucking liquidity out of the banks. But, I feel good about everything.
Good.
I don't feel like we're in a low bleed out to death anymore. I sort of feel like, I haven't really believed that ever, but I just sort of feel like we kind of are sort of turning a little bit.
Yeah.
The worst case shit hasn't really happened yet. So,
well, tomorrow, there's the big bill from Loomis is coming out, which is going to be interesting because there was a thread on Twitter. A guy wrote up a thread about Loomis and about the bill and a discussion she got into with a bunch of Bitcoin maxis on a video. And essentially, they were saying that the draft of the bill will make everything except Bitcoin a security, which I don't know if that'll overall have impact on the market when it hits tomorrow and people start analyzing it, but it's certainly not a good thing. And here's what's going to do. It's going to divide the community of crypto in general. It's going to pick the maxis against everybody else on the Bitcoin side, which is exactly what this is what the Bitcoin maxis want, right? They want it to be
a monopoly,
everything against Bitcoin. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to fuck themselves, because here's what happens. These Congress people don't understand all the differences and nuances of altcoins, right? Or even what the fuck DeFi is. All they know is there's tokens and people are trading them on Coinbase. And that's the fucking depth of their knowledge. And so what I would suggest is that if I'm, me personally, if that bill gets through committee with that language, then I'm calling my Congress people and saying, vote no, because we can't have that enshrined in law that everything else is a security except Bitcoin. And so what they're doing is they're screwing up their opportunity for a unified front, and they're going to divide the community, and they don't have enough Bitcoiners that give a shit about the legalities of it to actually call their senators. And they're going to end up defeating the opportunity for crypto in Congress. I hope it doesn't come out like that, but the analysis I read was pretty good. Mm-hmm. That the expectation is that Loomis is going to put this bill forth that's going to harm the rest of crypto. And in that video discussion that they referenced, I'll try to find the link and put it in the show notes. Another person who I have had a great deal of respect for, and I got to confirm it, but Caitlin Long, who's pushed through all the legislation in Wyoming that, you know, I've made use of, and has been an advocate. Evidently, in that same video, it was like a panel at some show. And in that same panel said something along the lines of, I guess Loomis was talking about her focus on the bill, and Caitlin Long said something along the lines of basically all the altcoins, just burn them all down, right? Which isn't really smart if you're running a bank where you expect crypto companies to come in, exchanges to be depositing, et cetera. You know, it's just not very smart. It's just stupid. But I'm going to confirm that. And if it's the case, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed in her at this point. So,
yeah, I'd say a couple of things. One, that is never going to get through the Congress this time of year, with an election coming up, with the war shit, with all this other stuff going on. You know,
yeah, let's hope not.
The Supreme Court, you know, pro-choice, pro-life issues. I mean, there's just so much stuff, but at the same time, it just seems like, again, defining everything as a security. I mean, if I'm the Bitcoin guys, Europe's trying to ban Bitcoin right now, or all proof of work.
Right. Right.
So what if the U.S. turns around and says ban and proof of work?
Right.
Okay, then Bitcoin's dead.
Fucked. Yeah.
So I don't. You know, I mean, it's anybody that has any sense that's thinking forward in the next sort of century, you know, in economic growth, you want to be on the leading edge of technology, et cetera, et cetera. It seems to me that, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but there's dramatically more commerce going on Ethereum and other blockchain-based platforms.
Absolutely.
On Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
So I don't see how this holds.
I can't imagine it does. And, you know, here's the thing. And this is the other stupid thing about this bill is you're going to create, if you want crypto to advance with regulation, you're going to create a schism in the community, and then you're going to make it, you're going to end up making it a Republican against Democratic issue, because what'll happen is the far left progressives who are against everything, but are against mining, are going to come out hardcore against it, and that'll kill it in the Senate, because the Republicans can't overcome, you know, just like the Democrats can't overcome the filibuster threat, and that'll kill it. And it's dead on arrival, but it's just going to create. It's just, if you want to advance Bitcoin, then you need to advance all of crypto, because you're not going to get the leverage and the community push that you need to have Congress people and senators take it as something important. So this whole divisive bullshit, you know, maybe we'll be surprised, and tomorrow it won't look like that, and all of the crypto legal people will weigh in on what the framework of the bill looks like. But right now, I'm really worried that they're going to actually harm the opportunity for Bitcoin and all of crypto to advance. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're also sitting on that Ethereum. No, it's the Ripple litigation. That's right. The Ethereum stuff has all been settled, right?
Well, I mean, that's what the SEC. I mean, that's what the SEC chair did, previous one, but now the SEC is fighting that, right? So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is all just
Gary Goldman.
Gensler.
Goldman Gary.
Oh, Goldman Sachs guy. Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, I think the stuff that gets all the bad press in crypto is, unfortunately, you know, some shitty altcoin pump and dumps that, you know, they're cons or hustles, just like in pink sheets, OTC, all of that stuff, mining stocks, gold stocks. Remember all that stuff from the last 30 years. You just have it there, but there's also gems. And so you can't just blanket, you know, I like to let the market decide.
Absolutely.
Capital goes to the projects that have the most merit, typically.
Yep.
And, you know, sure, you lose on some because of execution mistakes, but, you know, you can't just tar the whole group.
Yeah.
And again, I think you're right. I think there's a schism in the lobbying efforts. There's definitely a BTC only lobbying effort.
Of course.
And then there's an all crypto. Probably the other ones are starting to line up their own teams now too. But it just doesn't make sense.
It's
And
just
hopefully it doesn't go
stupid.
that way.
It's just stupid. This idea, look, if you want something to pass that you're sponsoring as legislation, this idea that you're going to divide with the much larger numbers of people on the non-Bitcoin side of things, or on the other, altcoin side of things, DeFi side of things, you're going to lose all the support you could have had. And it's just stupid not to take that and run with it. But we'll see.
I think part of it might be too that in difference from 2018, let's say, back then BTC was the stable coin. I mean, when you trade it out, where'd you put it?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was holding BTC. So I'm kind of like, if I was a BTC maxi, my objective would be to kind of kill off stable coins on the other side.
Right.
Get back to like being the anchor for everything.
Yeah.
Not just a little gold like play over here that talks like it's going to do commerce one day. That's where I would go, because that's the only way price goes up.
Yep.
A lot of people think that they have this misnotion as to how price gets set in things. It always requires new money in any transaction. So if you don't have new money coming in, prices don't go up.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen. So follow the money, see where it's going. But, if I'm for these alts, but if I'm a BTC guy, I don't really want this schisming. I think everybody knows that it's the only proof of work.
Right.
I think consumers go to BTC first, the newbies who don't know anything about crypto.
Yeah.
So they're the gateway. So that should be okay if you're a BTC maxi.
Right.
I just don't, unless they're really trying to insulate themselves from being called a security someday in legislation. Maybe that's their objective. But it seems stupid.
It's just short-sighted and stupid. It's going to, it will create a rift, and it's just a stupid way to get legislation advanced. But we'll see what happens. Maybe that analysis I read was wrong, and we'll see something different. But I can tell you what, if I verify that statement from Caitlin Long, she was actually, we were waiting for her bank to start taking, her crypto bank to start taking deposits, to start doing all of our business in crypto from material indicators and banking with her bank. And look, we're not, $100 million company, but I'll never do business with her. I can guarantee you that. So
I didn't know about her bank. She started a bank?
Yeah, she started I think she's heading up Kraken's bank. Kraken got the bank license, and it's the crypto banking legislation that passed in Wyoming that then allowed them to apply for whatever the federal banking licensing regime is. Yeah. And so they got that.
They got the federal charter. Wow.
They got a federal charter for one kind of bank. And then there was something else. There was something else in the regulations that they had to get, or a committee had to say, yes, you can. And they were waiting on that. And I have no idea where it stands today, but
that's interesting.
It doesn't exist for me if I find out that that's what she's out there saying to people, because I don't have patience for people that are dividing the industry up, and I don't have patience for people that are maximalists. So
yeah, she was in that circle with a couple of other people from like 2017, 18. That's when I kind of met her the first time. And there was another, it was that New York City lady, and I can't remember her name. Friggin' genius too. But I was always, Caitlin then was just more like an influencer, state legislative aide or whatever, state level person. And then, through LinkedIn and Twitter and all of that, she blew up her profile.
Yeah.
And I guess then she got pulled into the Kraken stuff.
Yep.
But I don't know why. I guess sometimes when people move up in, say, wealth or something, they tend to start then trashing everybody else.
Yeah, because you got nothing to lose. You're like, fuck it, I got all mine.
And now you're on the side of the man, basically. I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I'm just saying that, now you're on the side of the big players. And you're going to execute that mission, not the, democratization of finance mission.
Absolutely.
But I could be wrong. I mean, she's a nice person. I don't, and I forgive someone making one snarky or off the cuff comment. God knows I do it constantly. So,
well, look, I do it as well, but in this case, those words are highly impactful. I mean, that's just,
it's too much.
It's too much. I look, until she does something to reverse course, I won't have anything to do with that bank.
What is the name of that bank? Is it just Kraken or?
Hold on, let me find. No.
I mean, crypto and Bitcoin bank, Kraken Bank. Is Kraken in Wyoming?
It's
Wyoming-based Kraken Bank.
Caitlin Long
hopes to launch.
It was called Avanti. Now it's called. They changed the name. There's a tweet on her thread from February. They changed the name to Custodia. And she's got the laser eyes and she's got the Bitcoin in the header. But I mean, look, that doesn't mean anything. So it'll be interesting.
I just did an article from 2021 real quick. Cryptocurrencies Wild West is in Wyoming. Let's see. It said that they had a well, it's too old. There's nothing really good here. Let's see. The first says Kraken Bank. No, this is 2021 though. First digital currency business to receive U.S. state banking charter. Hopes to launch second half of 21. Waiting for the Fed, Kansas City, on its application for access to central bank master accounts. Yeah, so that's the charter, and they've got that. That's impressive that they do have it though. Yeah, because we always talk about that. Strapping these accounts straight up to corporate bank accounts,
right?
It's a little tricky sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, it's a pain in the ass, and so it'd be a great solution. But man, she is all Bitcoin all the time these days. I don't remember her being anything like that.
I don't either.
I really don't. I don't know.
She must be gunning for some Musk deposits and some MicroStrategy deposits.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's what she's doing. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems to me that to then, after 5 or 6 years, to then kind of go all in on BTC at that point, after all the other stuff she did.
Yeah.
It's kind of pigeonholing yourself. I mean, when you're consulting and advising, and then all of a sudden you throw all in on one part of the market. I guess there's a lot of meat there regardless, but still it kind of, I don't know. It seems so.
This is the panel. Oh, she was at the fucking Heritage Foundation, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. There's like passing out the
Celer, Loomis, Long, and Celer, Loomis, and Long. That's wonderful.
Yeah, except they're all going to want some kind of surveillance wallet in place.
Of course, of course. Anyway, I'll confirm that, but right now, not pleased. Evidently, she wrote a piece on forces opposed to crypto in DC about to make a big move. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. There were probably lobbying fights back, 100 years ago. When you think about the stock markets, and you think about, there wasn't a NASDAQ.
Right.
I don't think there was an American stock exchange. I think, it was NYSE or something else. And then they divided out. So now NYSE is kind of the big boys, and, NASDAQ, we all know what NASDAQ is. And Amex, I don't really ever do anything there, but it's kind of like, and then there was OTC as well, and there's the Toronto stuff. So there were always these layers.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's an angle where it's like, Bitcoin is like the NYSE, so to speak. I mean, it doesn't even really fit in the exchange thing, though. That's the thing. It's a gold thing.
Yeah.
Thing. So I'm trying to think if they could bifurcate it a little bit or something.
Sean weighed in and said, there is no unified lobby, never will be. Otherwise, do we include Hex or BitConnect? The truth is that there is BTC and then there are the rest. They are different. Actually, I completely disagree with you on this, Sean. There is a unified lobby. It's all of the reasonable people on the DeFi side of the coin. We all love Bitcoin. We all want to embrace Bitcoin. We all want Bitcoin to be part of the regulatory framework. The only people who are trying to divide it are the maximalists. And so it is different, and there is a unified lobby. The people who are going to cause us problems are the maximalists who are going to divide it. And when they do, there aren't enough maximalists for y'all to get anything passed. So, I have to disagree with you on that one, buddy. Chuck says, in that situation, you shill whatever you're being paid to shill. Wonder who the LPs are in that bank. Cough, China, cough.
Ni hao, ni hao.
Watch the
And how.
Watch the accent, Joe.
No, that's the way it's pronounced. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm horrible at it. Chinese girls were always giggling at me.
Oh, good.
You'd be like, shay, shay, and they just be like,
there's some stories coming now.
No, because you pronounce it all wrong. They have 4 inflections. They got like up, down, steady, and then I don't even know what the 4th one is. But so when you finish a word, you either finish it up or you finish it down or you go sideways. It means totally different things. So you could be trying to say thank you, shay, shay. But, that's pronounced horribly, of course, to any of our Chinese listeners. They'll probably comment here in a second. But, they'd all giggle. But they knew what I meant.
I don't think we're allowed in China, Joe.
Yeah? Well, I mean, there's American Chinese, too. That's what I'm talking about. Or Chinese Americans, whichever is the right order. But the thing is that, it's hard to do anything with it because it's super complicated. Language.
Totally. All right. I found the other day, somebody sent me some USDC on Arbitrum. And I'm like, oh, fucking A. I don't do anything on fucking Arbitrum. What the fuck?
I just hold Arby's. All I do is hold Arby's there.
It's like, couldn't you have asked me,
Give me some phantom shit, man.
You just send it. So Joe is digging a hole to China, Chuck says.
Yeah, exactly. I used to tell the Chinese that story constantly. When I was a little kid, I was in my grandma's backyard trying to dig a hole to China. They would laugh their asses off. They thought it was the funniest thing in the world. They're like, how do you dig through earth? Doesn't make sense, And I'm like, yeah, it's a joke, dude.
So anyway, I was having the damnedest time because some bridges worked, some didn't. I had to get ETH over to fucking Arbitrum in order to be able to pay the fees to get the fucking. All I wanted to do was get my fucking money out of
your free shit
Arbitrum, and it was such a pain in the ass. I mean, it was like $1,000, so it was like, okay,
who the hell sending you $1,000?
That would be none of your business. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so we're talking about him on DeFi lunch. Now I see.
Nobody on DeFi lunch. But if anybody wants to send me $1,000 for a DeFi lunch, I'll give Joe $10. Don't worry.
There you go. Cover my lunch, man.
Anyway, so I'm going through all the bridges, multi-chain and blah blah. And multi-chain was a hot fucking mess with functionality. There was something weird with the way the wallet was interacting. I didn't like it. And I've used multi-chain a lot and had no problem.
That used to be AnySwap, right?
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah,
I like that one too.
And I love it. I've used the hell out of it. Printer, which I love. Those guys that we had him on.
Yeah, I remember that.
They don't have an Arbitrum chain yet, or bridge. And I tried. Oh my God, here was the real hot mess, Joe, and I was so disappointed. Define using
router.
What's their system? Router.
Yeah.
I mean, excruciatingly bad.
I suspected it was going to be that way.
Oh my God, dude. I was so disappointed in them. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, it threw so many errors every time I tried to do anything. And it wasn't chain errors. It was the way it was connecting to the wallet. They're doing it as an embed on both sites. On the router site, it's not even native to the web page. I was like, fucking hot mess. Just a hot mess. So I'm doing some more searching, and Celer, the chain, has a bridge, and it worked. Yeah, Celer. Remember? We were on it with Crystal.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Really nicely functioning, fast, beautiful, has a ton of chains on it. Really works well. So
These are the guys that sent you the $1,000.
Who, Celer?
Yeah.
No.
To use the bridge? Oh,
no,
okay.
No.
I was gonna say, if they want to send me some money, I'll move it to the bridge all day long.
No. But that would be a great man. My whole thing, that would have been a great setup if it had. That would have been. That's like a great ad. The other day somebody sent me $1,000, and that would be an awesome ad.
Because everybody perks up on that free money.
We'd have to say it's sponsored, or the FCC will be all over our shit. But no,
are we regulated?
Oh, of course.
Oh, we
of
are.
course. We can't do anything that's promoting something without announcing that we're sponsored.
Oh no, that way, yeah. Okay,
Yeah. We have to put it, and YouTube will ban us.
No, I meant, are we under like FCC? Well, no, we use tons of profanity, so we can't be under those rules. It's just
we're not under those rules, but we are the guidance, the regulations relevant to promotion.
Got it.
Okay. It also applies to Twitter, Facebook, whatever if somebody's paying you to say shit, you have to say, I'm being paid to say this shit. Anyway.
Okay. I'm paying myself to say this shit.
So Celer's bridge, highly recommended. It's cbridge, CBRIDGE.Celer, CELER.network. It was a flawless user experience, just absolutely flawless. If you got to get money off or onto Arbitrum, I really enjoyed it. It was fast. Everything was transferred within 5-10 minutes. It's really nice, really well done. I'm really impressed. Makes me want to look, which is a great angle, right? Which they don't do here. It makes me want to look at their network, but they don't promote their network on their bridge. Which
I'm surprised. I got into Arbitrum, whatever. I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah,
buying stuff over there, and I still hold it.
They've had a lot of growth over there.
Yeah, Optimism's another L2.
That's another L2.
Yeah. I hear lots of buzz. Some airdrop coming there on Optimism. You guys might want to go check that out. If anybody's done anything there was a big airdrop. But with Arbitrum, I bought Arby's Finance there, which was kind of their sort of first sort of Dexy sort of thing up there. Hadn't done anything, but I figure it's the only one there. So if the chain makes it, those will make it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't,
you know what? Yeah. I think I was confusing Celer with Cello. Yeah. Because this is its own chain. It is its own blockchain. But it is a proof of stake blockchain built on Tendermint. It's basically the entire concept of it is an interoperability network, and they support 32 chains.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got to check that out more.
Yeah. I want to look at this a little more closely.
But I haven't done anything.
No, it is not connected to the other one. It is, I was mistaken. But I'm telling you, if you got a bridge like that, you should be promoting the rest of your product suite, right? Which they don't. But interoperability with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, USDC. Wow. I'm impressed. I definitely want to look at this more.
Are you on Celer?
Celer.network.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. I mean, founded in 2018 by computer science PhDs from MIT, Princeton, Berkeley, UIUC, don't know that one. With a goal to become, mass adoption of blockchain, Celer Network launched world's first generalized state channel network on mainnet. That there's some funny colors here that I'm messing up. That has allowed users on the same blockchain to interact with each other in real time while maintaining scalability. We got to get Chuck to take a look at this one.
Yeah, definitely. Chuck,
take a look at CELER.network.
Yeah, this looks really nice. And I got to tell you, like I said, the experience was flawless. It was awesome. It was really well done. So anyway, let's see what else I got today. Oh, so we talked about last week that Coinbase was laying people off, right?
Oh, laying people off. Okay.
Right. And then they were going to freeze hiring. Okay. But they had been aggressively hiring people. So in advance of the notification that they were freezing hiring, their HR team sent a welcome email to all of the hires 2 weeks ago saying they wouldn't resend the offers. And then they sent resending emails
later on
last week.
Yeah. I mean,
they are going to get so fucking sued, because think about all of those people that quit their jobs and pissed off their current employers
to take those jobs. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And that's what we were talking about last week, though. Like, how long you been at this fucking Coinbase? You don't know a bear market's coming. You don't know how, you don't know that you need to chill on your hiring, or at least, think about it and how you plan it, instead of just like willy-nilly having your HR department out there hiring everything that fucking moves. I just don't understand it. It's just irresponsible.
Well, when people I don't know what their balance sheet looks like right now, but when people have a lot of capital and they're expanding, I mean, you just make stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I always look at it as like, kind of an amoeba or something like that. If you remember, it starts growing off of these different directions and things. And then eventually it sort of consolidates back down to a solid core. And, some of those more distant lineages going off end up dying off or something. But, when you grow, you got to always then fill in the gaps,
right,
in between functionality. So
of course, but I mean,
but
it's not like this is Coinbase's first bear market, right? It's not the first time they've slowed hiring or laid people off. It's just like, somebody, the CEO, Brian Armstrong, should be thinking about this shit. Like, oh, look, everybody's saying we're hitting a bear market. Oh, look, inflation's out of control. Oh, look, the economy. Oh, look, big stockholders in tech companies are selling everything they fucking can. January, February, March, April. I mean, at some point, go to HR and say, hey, maybe we should slow this shit down, right?
Bonuses or new employees.
Yeah.
Bonuses or new employees.
It's just so bad. It's just really bad. Oh, by the way, Chuck said, hey, already know about them. State channels are a nice way to orchestrate off-chain compute. Good for oracles to beam trusted data into contracts too. Oh, very nice.
Nice. Thank you, Chuck.
So anyway, look, I get it. It's growing pains and I understand they're human, but it's just like, you can't fuck. It's going to end up costing them more than if they just honored the hiring, because these people are going to sue them, and then they're going to send a letter from their attorney, and they're going to say, I quit my job. My previous employer hates me because I was leaving, and they won't trust me again. And so now you need to pay me. And Coinbase is going to have to pay all of them, probably the equivalent of at least 6 months of salary, at least. Probably a year is what I would be going for. And at the end of the day, why not just fucking bring them on?
Well, what's happening is that there's some lawyer going through all the names, getting ready to put together the class action lawsuit here.
Exactly. As they should.
What I was thinking about, I am amazed too, just at how these guys repeatedly just step on their
dicks.
Yeah. I was trying not to say anything. I was going, is that sexist to say that?
No.
I mean, girls can step on their dicks too. I mean, it's just a phrase. Okay. But my daughter would say, hell yeah. She wouldn't be like, what? She'd be like, fuck them boys. But no, yeah. So God, I'm just laughing so much. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, they keep stepping on their thing all the time and messing it up. I mean, if I was Morgan Stanley or anybody, if there's any worth here in this, like with Wit Capital back in the day when you brought a bunch of new clients on board, I would be shorting the shit out of this stock right now.
Oh, yeah.
Taking it
out. I warned everybody.
Buy the carcass for
they're just a fucking on-ramp.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to make some moves in DeFi with their wallet. So I'm impressed with that. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm impressed with the wallet. But where's the revenue from that? Like eventually the banks are going to be the on-ramp. There will be banks that are going to let you take your money from your banking account and buy your crypto and keep it right there.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
And I don't need Coinbase anymore then. And there's a ton of competitors now. I mean, I have a Coinbase account. I haven't touched that fucking thing in God knows how long. Because I use Binance US.
What's so funny is that when I had my 3G to 5G phone disaster issue a couple of months ago, of course I deleted the authenticator app.
Please don't say that publicly anymore, that up to a couple of months ago you were using a 3G phone.
Everybody
you just kill all of our gravitas.
Yeah, I mean, well, dude, I'm not a phone guy. I think everybody knows it. God, go look at my Twitter thing. I don't think I've been in there in 2 months. LinkedIn, barely show up. Discord, I'm actually having some fun in Discord, figuring that monstrosity out.
Yeah.
But, that's where everybody is now.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, a couple of months ago, 3G to 5G, what were you going to say?
Oh, and I deleted my authenticator app.
Oh, yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. So now Coinbase is like, oh, you got to send us ID and do all of this. And so that's what I just figured out, is that I accidentally deleted my authenticator app 3 months ago.
So one of my business partners at Material Indicators had 1.2 Bitcoin emptied out of his wallet, out of his account. And there's no other logins into his account. And he received a phone call from Coinbase. No, he received an email. He called Coinbase's official number got on the phone with them before he knew it had happened. And while he was on the phone with the Coinbase rep, he didn't give identifying information that would have allowed a hacker to come in, but it was the Coinbase main number from their website. While he was there is when the money was transferred out. It was converted. It was sold for ETH, transferred out to a wallet. I'm monitoring the wallet, but so, he lost a nice chunk of money. And he's, now having to go through the fucking bureaucracy of Coinbase.
I heard
Coinbase. It's like dealing with a fucking bank. Actually, my bank is more responsive than Coinbase.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I heard they don't even call people back from Coinbase.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway.
Yeah, it has a lot of growing pains. It needs to get its shit together because the competition's coming.
I could see if they were I could see if they were a year and a half, 2 years old, right? Or if they joined in the last bull run, and that's, they're new, they're growing, they're trying to hire a lot of people, but they've had plenty of time for this shit.
Be perfect, a match made in heaven. Coinbase merges with Algorand. Let's just roll up all the shithole companies into one thing. And then that can be the one that Caitlin and all the BTC maxis throw rocks
There you go. So speaking of Discord, I took a little journey into Wonderland Discord. When was that? Friday or last week or the weekend? When was June 3rd? Friday.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, Friday night. On my wild Friday night, I decided to go through Wonderland Discord. And I got to tell you, that fucking train wreck is not slowing down. Like, they're headed straight for the fucking wall. Danielle has not changed a bit. Like, not a bit. Zero lessons learned. None. Absolutely no lessons learned. They launched
the hubristic side, or just the
totally
random.
I'm in charge. I'm in control. Remember, we looked at that snapshot the other day. The new version of the snapshot came out. Guess who's in charge?
Sifu?
No.
I'm just kidding. I know. Just
so
kidding.
Get this.
Sifu's boss.
He launched a gold pegged token called MiG.
MiG.
Okay. As in the Russian fighter jet. Yeah. MiG. He still thinks he's in charge of sushi, like in the AMA as late as last week. And there's a ton of other shit going on. It is a train wreck. It's the cult. It's everything is exactly like it was. Like, this is his diagram of the ecosystem. He's got his sushi swap in there. He's got Popsicle and Abracadabra. I mean, these three are his. This one, not so much anymore, guy. I think the sushi swap people, and this is on their website now, they have Magic Internet Gold. So anyway.
So what do the rest of the sushi people say about that?
I haven't taken that dive yet, but I'm definitely curious to see what the community is going to say about that, because I can guarantee you none of them are planning to have Danielle in charge of sushi. So
no, he's a train wreck, and I can just feel the indictments coming down on him soon.
Hell yeah. Zerion launched a wallet. And I was a big Zerion user before I moved to DeBank. And DeBank has a wallet, obviously, that I use daily. But this wallet integration is actually pretty nice. The problem is it's only mobile. It's not web as well. But it makes total sense. Like, if you're tracking people's portfolios for them and their transactions for them, it really makes sense to leverage the wallet and add swapping in so you can take a cut of the swap revenue. So this is a really smart move by them. I like their product. It's a nice product. I just like the banks better. But this is a really smart move. So if you're looking for a new wallet besides the centralized consensus MetaMask owned by JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, then you may want to go check out Zerion and their wallet. If you're a mobile first user, that's probably a good idea as well. So anyway, but I'm using Rabby every day.
Click that top link on the right. 5 reasons why Bitcoin could be a better long-term investment than gold.
All right.
Let's see what that says, please.
How does it stack up? Value retention. We know that.
Nope.
Could Bitcoin be a better hedge against inflation? Has seen a modest gain of 21.48 over the past 2 years. Gold, the price of Bitcoin has increased 311%. Bitcoin could mirror gold during geopolitical uncertainty. The dollar keeps losing value. Bitcoin is scarce and deflationary. I don't know how Bitcoin is deflationary. How's Bitcoin deflationary?
Let's see what they say. Hold on, because I'm wondering that myself.
I mean, is that because of all the people that lost their fucking hard drives?
Oh, maybe they're saying because it's capped.
Scarcity debate, yes, but I wouldn't call it.
Yeah, I agree.
Typo scarce. I wouldn't call it deflationary until.
Yeah, no, it's not deflationary. You're right. It's just a cap, and that's what they're even trying to explain it as deflationary in that second to the last paragraph there. Fixed supply of 21 million.
Yeah,
but that's not the logical.
That's scarcity, not deflationary.
No.
Anyway, this was really this is an interesting project. I found it on Gitcoin by mistake. It's xdai.io, xdai.io. They call it a burner wallet. It's a cool way to create a quick temporary wallet. You don't need to hold your keys. You don't have to worry about a seed phrase. The seed phrase gets stored in your browser storage, and you can send money to it, send it to somebody else, and then you can burn the keys with a button in the wallet. So it allows for a quick, temporary, more private way to send funds. It's on the XDAI blockchain, so it has some limits in what you can send back and forth, but it's fast. And it's a pretty cool little concept for sending money to people.
So quick question. So you go from your MetaMask wallet to there. Let's say you're paying off a mistress, okay? And you don't want
anybody to know. You can still be traced.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
If it breaks that chain between the two wallets.
No, the wallet still exists on the address still exists on the blockchain. Okay. But it's a cool concept. It's quick and dirty and easy. It's a fast way to send something to somebody, and
Well, and also you don't always want to give your wallet out to everybody.
Exactly.
So if you're receiving stuff from unknown parties, this might be an extra layer they got to fight their way through. I saw something like that on the hell was it? Credit cards. You
can get a temporary to use.
Yeah. So you basically, because a lot of things you do things like, do the trial, and then you're going to come back in 30 days or 90 days and maybe cancel it or something, but you forget to. So you use the one-shot credit card number, and then they can never ding you on it after that. So you don't get those like, holy shit, I've been paying this little kid video game on my phone for 3 years, $10 a month, Animal Farm. Yeah. You don't get those surprises.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it protects your number too.
And here's the perfect use case. I'm not sure why I didn't think of this, but when you want to interact with contracts that aren't audited or aren't safe, right? Then you can burn it. And if it was insecure or there was a problem or somebody had control, you can burn that out and nobody can get anything. You just use it and get out.
So you basically use one burner wallet for each kind of
so if you want to mint an FT and you're worried about it, or a DApp that's not audited, I
like that. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Because then they can't come in and empty your master wallet.
This is on XDAI, so I'm wondering if there are burner wallets that people have created on other. There's a Solana burner wallet people can create.
Burner wallet collective. What is that?
Where is it?
Go down further. Right there. What's that one? Burner wallet. Is that
where that's where I found it? This is the one for XDAI describing it.
No, these are always, look, again, we're not talking about, when you do things like this, you're protecting yourself against criminals. We're not talking about avoiding any kind of state surveillance.
Right.
They can always find everything.
Yeah.
So there's no point. And if you do things that look kind of shady, then you get lumped in with all the super bad guys.
Yep.
So, it's just good security all around to do stuff like this.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. I'd never seen that before, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Bloomberg analyst predicts huge reversal in gold, bonds, and Bitcoin as one crypto revolutionizes fintech. Mike McGlone is predicting an economic cataclysm that sees gold, U.S. bonds, and Bitcoin rise from the ashes much stronger than before. He foresees what he calls a great reversion or a deep correction in risk-on assets like real estate and equity markets. I think what's going to happen is the great reversion. It's just getting started. It might be like the aftermath of 1929, but I think it's going to but I think it's going to be like the aftermath of 2008, or maybe like after the 1987 crash. It's so overdue, and all risk assets everywhere, from condos in Miami and Toronto to the stock market. It's just starting to happen, and the greatest inflation in 40 years in most people's lifetime is starting that. Once we kind of get through that period, I think Bitcoin is going to become realized as one of the best assets on the planet to hold. That's my base case. My outlook is I think some of the best assets to own will be gold, U.S. long bonds, and Bitcoin. And I think we're going back to deflation. And the best way to get deflation is to get a big spike up in prices and then flush them. That's what we're doing. We're in the early days of flushing.
Yeah, I don't think we ever get to deflationary in the U.S., though. I would kind of go against that, because that's what sort of happened in Japan. And all the Treasury guys I know that were working the Japan desk, I mean, Treasury's obsessed with that.
Right.
Because deflationary is just bad, because you're contracting. Inflationary, you got to manage it and get it under control. But I do agree with his general premise. I think there's so much liquidity out there right now that, I mean, I think there's a $10 trillion haircut out there waiting to happen. And it doesn't mean it happens and then drags on for like his Great Depression analog of 1929, where it goes on for another 6, 7, 10 years. I think we're already in this weird spot because, you know, we don't have the monetary tools to respond to a massive contraction.
Right.
Because we've spent all the powder, man. Shot all the bullets.
Yeah.
And now we got to get shit back to normal. So I have a feeling it's probably not going to go as bad as he's thinking in the nearer term. I think maybe somewhere out there when interest rates are up higher, that there's going to be some painful choices made by people. Sure. And I think real estate and mortgages, things like that. But, you know, we always survive that stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, just make sure you got yourself hedged a little bit. You know, I don't know about gold's always good, but U.S. bonds, unless he's talking about T-bills, I mean, I would be in that I-bond thing. You know,
speaking of which, DeFi Edge brought up I-bond this week, and I've got it loaded up. 9.62%, 1 year lockup. Currently, inflation's at 8.3%. He said, so you know that's a nice hedge. You're staying in your USD. You know, if inflation increases, they expect the APY to increase. If inflation decreases, I mean, that was the entire point of that I-bond, was to offset inflation. So it makes a ton of sense. You can only do 10K a year per spouse in the family. Locked for a year. He says their website sucks.
Of course, yeah.
But, you know, it makes sense. He said sometimes you play offense, sometimes you play defense.
You know what would be cool for kids? Like when your kids are born.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Park money. You know, I mean, I guess it says you can do up to 10,000 a year, whatever you said, but it's $1,000, 500, 200, whatever.
Absolutely.
10% interest for 18 years. You guys pull your calculators out and figure out what that number looks like. That's a nice number.
That's a nice number. Compounding number. And
you don't have to watch it.
Yep.
If that bond goes dead, you're already in a ditch dead. So,
yeah, the whole planet is dead.
Yeah. So whatever, man. But yeah, no, I was thinking about that the other day. I would love it if there was a way, you know, when we talk about, you know, our different trading strategies and protocols and say DeFi, you know, we're moving things around and building those chains. It would be so cool if you could like off ramp into like an I bond instead of a stable coin. Let's say. All right. Now, again, it's got to hold it for a year and there's a cap of 10,000. So that doesn't particularly work easily, but it would be neat if you could get, you know, that's what I'm wanting to see, is that seamless merging between fiat and crypto assets where you can go across all categories, even tokenization in real estate too.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what USDC wants to do.
Yeah.
That would probably be a good vehicle for them, right? It's like do something where they can auto convert on the back. I was actually looking at their product line the other day. They're definitely not focused on small business or real small business. They're focused on mid-size and up because their fees are expensive to open an account there. I was looking at it from material indicators, you know, that we need a place where we can do crypto and banking stuff. But they are probably an ideal provider for that because they can connect up in the banking system and they're regulatory compliant. I mean, it would be an awesome thing for them to do. Like if you could have a DApp that you just send straight to there and boom, it goes into that I-bond, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's all this stuff is coming.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
That's why everybody's drooling up in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Is that this shit is coming. Or here in Miami, actually.
I want to to start a new feature of the show, and we might not have one every week, but we're going to call it Douchebag of the Week.
So when they get tired of looking at us douchebags, then we got a third douchebag.
And here's this week's. Hold on. This is this week's. We talked about him. You probably won't remember his name.
Is that the Cardano guy?
No, this is the I'm forking Ethereum guy.
Oh God.
So I tweeted what a douchebag. And that's Richard Hart. So his tweet is, haters, I got something for you. $1 million Ferrari, $300,000 Lamborghini, $250,000 Mercedes AMG. I mean, this guy is, it's funny because I tweeted it and then my buddy Eric Irvin retweeted it. Hold on, let me find what he said. Wait, it's funny. But this is my douchebag of the week because he's definitely, Eric Irvin tweeted, why people hate crypto. And I replied, yeah, exactly. Everything that is still wrong in crypto in one tweet. Chuck wrote, oh, wow. Definitely got the plate wrong on the Mercedes. Wishful thinking, I guess. Oh, I got to go back. Is he saying his big
PP?
Oh, he actually, so here's the sad thing. I went to look at his wall because I've always known this guy was a total fucking douchebag. But I went to look at his wall and like everything on his wall is Mr. Fashion. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Who the fuck would wear that?
Joe, you can never wear yours again.
Yeah.
You're going to have to burn it.
He needs to be fatter for that thing to work, you know?
Wait. Here's his new watch. And then wait.
That's kind of cute.
The cool glasses, got the cool shades on. And then $900. He makes sure and he publishes the price.
Oh yeah, Burberry's. Yeah.
But he talks about his pee-pee a lot on his Twitter wall and videos. But there was here's another fashion shot.
Damn, man. Belly people shouldn't be wearing checkered stuff. I'm sorry. You don't do that.
He's also making a documentary about himself.
Oh, and he's a big Hex promoter?
No, that's his project.
Oh, he's Hex.
That is his project. He's the one fucking forking Ethereum and claims that everything's going to work right. Remember that analysis we read a couple of weeks ago about what a fucking disaster it's going to be for the people that invest in that stupid shit? Somebody that's him, dude.
Hex like a year ago to me is the next best thing, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, please. But this guy has been fleecing his followers for a very long time. And look, he's very proud of his Prada bag.
He needs like a fanny sack or something like that.
I think that's like the luxury, the rich man's version of a fanny pack.
It's got the strap on it.
My favorite though was this necklace. This fucking I don't know.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Is he in Star Trek or something?
He's gonna be buried in a pyramid. I don't know.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like you said, what hurts us.
See, look, he's at an art museum with some big dick on a piece of art, and he's like, I have pee-pee envy now. But then on other ones, he talks about how big his pee-pee is over and over and over and over again. The guy is like, shopping.
How many followers does this guy have?
Oh, a shit ton on YouTube. I don't know what he has on Twitter.
Are you kidding me?
He's a fucking just piece of shit. 227,000 on Twitter, and then on YouTube, that's where he kind of got his thing going. I don't know his whole history, but he's just a fucking so douchebag of the week. Do you agree? That's our annoying.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's funny because that's what I find a lot of people don't like about crypto. The whole
of course, that turns everybody off.
Shit, man. It's like, it's the stonking, it's the all or nothing. And it plays when you're 19, 20, 21, because you can risk it all, because you got a lot of time after that.
Yep.
But it doesn't play later on. And what you end up learning as you get older is that it just doesn't play that way at all.
No, it just makes you look like a fucking buffoon.
Yeah. And I'm just thankful there wasn't, as I call it, 24/7, 365 digital capture mode. I'm just glad that didn't exist when I was in my 20s. Because, God, everybody would think I was a total jerk. half the shit I did. And it wasn't even bad compared to today. But I wasn't running around doing this shit. I mean, forever, all humanity, unless there's a solar flare that wipes out all the IT storage, this guy's going to be known as this guy.
Yeah,
forever.
totally. And look, he is totally fucking, the arrogance, everyone's going to make a fortune because of what I'm doing. I mean, he's going to end up at the other side of a court battle at some point.
Yeah, yeah. And it's going to all implode. And then the confidence gets pricked and it's all over with. I mean, I guess you see that stuff. I mean, Kramer was kind of like that, I think. Not talking about his dick and shit, but he wasn't doing that shit. But he had a show and it was stocks and it was a personality. Yeah. Maybe he was the first one like that, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But, so I see why people are tempted to it. But I don't think that, I mean, maybe that gets the 17-year-old guy or whatever who's trying to get rich and get laid. Maybe it gets him pumped up. But I don't see that doing anything for anybody else.
No. Look, I mean, there are plenty. No, it's the cult. Like, it's the cult that want to believe that somebody is going to make them rich. Right. Yeah. And that's who these people prey on. It's the same thing that Do Kwon was doing. The whole, I'm going to free you. I'm out here to help you have, wealth, personality, and blah, 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 blah bullshit. And it's what will bring us down ultimately if we don't make it clear and distance ourselves from fucking idiots like this.
So burn them at the stake, everybody.
There you go. I
I
thought this was interesting. Yeah, I got to run too.
I love that one. That's
Finance Labs bought up a bunch of the governance token of PancakeSwap to give it some money in the coffers to let it do more. A smart move. But here's the thing that was interesting to me. BNB chain has 400,000 daily users active.
Wow.
Daily active fucking users. As bad as its rep was in the early days, it really makes me want to think about doing more over there, because if you have a project and you're not on this chain, you're missing out on probably the largest group of retail investors on anything. And it's astounding, man. It's incredible. There's 1,300 dApps, 3 billion transactions since 2020, 163 million unique wallet addresses.
It's funny though. I'm just looking at the stock price. It didn't really move that much, like 5%.
What stock price?
I mean, token price, PancakeSwap. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I just think of everything.
No, they probably bought this OTC directly from PancakeSwap founders.
It went from 420 to 490.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure they bought it. Yeah. They bought it direct OTC.
But I like that. I mean, and then like you said, I mean, to me, Binance is I'm sure I'm stating the obvious here, but it's the preeminent top tier exchange in the world.
Right.
Of
course it is.
I mean, I don't think
crypto, it totally is. No, nothing comes close.
Yeah. So, they have the ability to buy their way out of any problems they may have created by pushing the envelope in the gray area, and fix it and be legit. I mean, I think they're legit already myself. I'm not saying they're not, but regulatory wise and all of that stuff. And they do have the most retail users. And they're all over Africa, South Asia, South America. They're in all the pockets of sort of society that actually could do so much with very little in earnings.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, I hope I don't just paraphrase shit badly. When you're talking about feeding villages and things like that, it doesn't take $20 million or a friggin' Skittle colored G-Wagon to do it. It takes $12, And so Binance is great for that. Sorry, I had to segue back or tie it back.
That was awesome. That was awesome. No, I totally agree with you, dude. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. All right, that's all I got, buddy. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We love you. Thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you for chiming in. Sean, I still love you. I hope you love me, man.
I saw him in the material indicators chat this morning, going after somebody in there. So I was like, oh, he's going to be ready to go today.
Yeah. No, I was like, dude, sorry. I got to respond to that. But he knows. We've had our battles in the chat. So,
well, but his opinion comes from a intelligent space.
Exactly.
Okay? It's not a
and he's always open to something better. And
Coming back,
that,
yeah.
and I know he definitely does. I know, hey, same buddy. And he said he always. I always know he's open-minded
Yeah.
to something better. And that is the difference between him and most maxis, in my opinion, that I've been engaged with. So, okay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe on your favorite podcast app and or rate and review us in Apple Podcasts. It really does help. I ask every day, please just take 10 minutes, go give us a rating and a review in Apple Podcasts. It makes a huge difference in our visibility and our ability to spread the word. If you're on YouTube watching, please subscribe, click the little bell so you hear when we have new episodes out, and make a comment. We'd love to hear from you. If you have ideas for episodes, projects that we should be talking to, or feedback, or you think we're douchebags and you want to tell us we should be the douchebags of the week, don't hesitate to message Joe on Twitter because he's never on there. No, message me, B05Crypto on Twitter and Telegram, B05Crypto, #2143 on Discord. We love you. We love chatting with you guys, and we'd love to hear what you think. Thank you very much. Joe, have a lovely afternoon.
You too, buddy. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone.